we are seeing this major dump in the overall market, not only in the crypto market. Yes, this is a major black swan event that pushed the price of Bitcoin all the way back down to the 48,900 US dollars. This is our new range low. But ultimately, guys, you're not going to be in any loss if you're not going to sell any cryptocurrencies. Because yes, I'm going to admit that I called the bottom exactly in these levels in the previous video, because I expected that the price of Bitcoin is going to bounce exactly here. Yes, I was absolutely wrong, and the price dumped all the way back down, and currently you are in a loss. But if you don't sell your coins, you're not going to realize this loss. And I told you in the previous video that your mindset must be absolutely clear, because if we're going to zoom out on Bitcoin, then you can see that even during the last cycles of Bitcoin, we always had these major corrections. Yes, this is now on the monthly chart, but if we're going to zoom in on the weekly chart, because yes, exactly here we found the bottom for Bitcoin in the year 2022, and then we saw this pump and a major correction, and a lot of people were calling exactly here that Bitcoin is going to form a lower low and come all the way back down to the 10,000 US dollar level. But we saw this fast recovery all the way back up, and yes, you can see that this is absolutely normal for the price movement of Bitcoin. Yes, this time this correction was a little bit bigger, caused from uncertainty and a lot of fear in the market, and due to the fact that the overall market is dumping. But yes, we have seen these major black swan events before in the year 2020, where we saw this major COVID crash exactly here. And if you would have sold exactly here, you wouldn't have bought exactly the bottom, because this was a quick move. So yes, if you would have got your confidence back, this would have been all the way up here above your initial entry price. So guys, all you need to do at the moment is sit on your hands, hold on to your cryptocurrencies, because as long as you're not going to sell, you're not going to realize these losses. And yes guys, I know it's extremely painful that you're going to look at your portfolio and you are extremely down on Bitcoin, and especially on altcoins that saw even greater dump towards the downside. But ultimately guys, your mindset must be absolutely clear, and I didn't change my mind. I'm not going to sell here, and I didn't sell any cryptocurrencies exactly within these levels. And we're going to find out exactly why we saw this major dump towards the downside and why we could expect this quick recovery. So if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe. And now let's directly start with today's content. I know today is a really dull moment in the overall financial market, but we're going to find out why holding Bitcoin and especially holding onto your cryptocurrencies is going to be the best option. Because yes, we saw this major dump. So let's go over to the first news, why we saw this major dump towards the downside. And like I posted over on X, the financial markets are crashing. Possible reasons: Japan's economy is facing a crisis due to a potential collapse of its 20 trillion carry trade amid rising inflation. Shares of Japanese automakers are falling by 9 to 13%. Amid the Tokyo crash, Israel and Iran conflict, there are concerns about the potential start of a global conflict in the Middle East, which could lead to a serious negative consequence for all of the global markets. US intelligence and press sources suggest this could happen within the next 72 hours. So yes, this is a major black swan event, why we saw the markets dump in first place. First of all, through Japan's economy crash and also the Israel and Iran conflict. But most importantly guys, many believe that Bitcoin will fall further with the opening of the US stock market as investors begin to sell their Bitcoin. So yes, we're going to look at that. And yes guys, it is extremely important, and I'm going to say it one more time. First of all, you have to have the right mindset. Only invest capital that you can spare within the next year, because your time horizon must be absolutely clear. Yes guys, we're about to enter stage 2 of the bull market exactly here after a consolidation period. And yes, during COVID we also had this major black swan event and this major dump towards the downside, but the markets quickly recovered. And yes, we're going to find out why, but let's go over to the next news. So yes, what could be worse than having all of this at the same time? Middle East potential war, Jump dumping everything. And yes, Jump is a major market maker that dumped some crypto over the weekend, but this isn't confirmed yet. But stock market wiped out the whole crypto market value in one session. Mt. Gox repayments, Trump going from 70% chance of winning to 53% in 2 weeks. US economy numbers wrecked. Civil war starting in UK and other European countries as well as Venezuela. and also the yen that saw this major dump towards the downside. But it is really clear, guys, that this is just a major black swan event, and ultimately, guys, if you would have sold exactly here, you wouldn't buy exactly the bottom, because you would think that the price would dump even lower and maybe go even all the way back down to 30,000 US dollars, which is a possibility, but not very likely, because ultimately we're going to talk about this major catalyst that could pump the price of Bitcoin all the way back up into this major zone, and yes, exactly into the zone where I told you this is going to be the bottom in no time. But yes, let's go over to the next news. Will Yellen call an emergency meeting tomorrow and print 10 trillion to stop the US stock market crash? We all saw it coming. We are lied to. Jerome lied, Janet lied. If you trust any in the government today, you are blind. Japanese market has worst day in history, Korean stock market crashing and also suspended their trading, Australian market set to be destroyed, US stock market futures saying COVID style crash. So yes guys, we saw all of the slides from the Federal Reserve saying that the markets are alright and that they don't need to cut rates, but this was a major mistake, because at the moment we are seeing that really something is about to break in the overall market. And yes guys, you know what is going to happen if something is about to break and major banks are going to go bankrupt. Yes, the money printing is going to start and quantitative easing, and this is exactly what we could expect. Breaking, US Fed calls emergency meeting as Japan markets collapse. And yes guys, let's go over to the next post. Breaking, bond markets are now pricing in a 60% chance of an emergency interest rate cut within a week. And yes, this would mark the first emergency interest rate cut since March 2020 during the pandemic. Bond markets are saying that something broke. And yes guys, we all know what happened during the pandemic. We had this major COVID crash that we've been talking about exactly from these levels. And yes, the Fed stepped in and print money to save all of these banks from going bankrupt, and the price movement of Bitcoin saw this major pump towards the upside. And overall guys, crypto, especially Bitcoin, is made for these major catastrophic events, because if banks go bankrupt, guys, all of the financial system is going to come to an halt, and this is going to drive the adoption of Bitcoin, because if you can't use your bank account or your money gets frozen, you can at least use Bitcoin to purchase things and also to make payments. So this is again a use case for Bitcoin and also a fundamental value, because remember, the global markets are crashing and we all know what's coming, and Bitcoin is going to see a major benefit from all this liquidity getting injected into the markets, because each and every time we are seeing that the market crash and the Federal Reserve needs to print money or bail out all of these banks, that we could expect a major push towards the upside. Because yes, this was also what happened exactly in these levels where Bitcoin formed the bottom, where there was a lot of fear that banks are going to go bankrupt, and they were bailed out from the Federal Reserve, and we saw this major pump for the overall crypto market from the bottom all the way back up to these major levels. And this is exactly what is going to happen. Yes, maybe the price movement is going to dump a little bit further due to this major volatility in the overall financial system and also the global stability, but overall guys, we could expect a fast recovery all the way back up. And once again, if you would have sold all the way up here, you wouldn't have the courage to buy exactly now, because you would be fearful that the market would dump even lower. And once you're going to have that conviction to rebuy your cryptocurrencies, the price movement would already be over the price that you exit exactly here. Because once again guys, we all know the fundamental values of all the crypto projects that we have invested in, and if we're going to zoom out guys, this happened before. These major corrections towards the downside and this overall volatility in the markets are business as usual. And yes guys, maybe this was caused to an unexpected global crisis, but once again guys, the Federal Reserve needs to step in to save the economy. So let's go over to the next news. Because yes, over in this post I'm calling for a 75 basis point emergency cut in the Fed funds rate, with another 75 basis point cut indicated for the next month at the September meeting, and that's a minimum, says Wharton Jeremy Siegel. And let's listen to this interview.
We've talked about quite a bit. It was down in the low teens, up 26 points a day. It's been over 50 at one point, 49, 80, and earlier Tom Lee said when we see the VIX peak and maybe come down a little, that could indicate some type of bottoming. Joining us now is Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, Chief Economist at Wisdom Tree, and Jeremy, I hate, you probably aren't happy to say I told you so either, given what we're witnessing. But you thought the Fed was staying at, once again, for the second time, staying at the party too long and too restrictive.
Absolutely. And, this may surprise people. I'm calling for 75 basis point emergency cut in the Fed funds rate with another 75 basis point cut indicated for next month at the September meeting. And that's minimum. The Fed funds rate right now should be somewhere between 3.5% and 4%. Let me give you very simple logic of my position here. At the June meeting, the Fed has said that the long run Fed funds rate, when inflation reached 2% and unemployment has come up to 4.2%, should be 2.8. That's the normal. 2.8 is the normal Fed funds rate. Well, on Friday, we blew across the employment number. We're at 4.3. That even argues for a lower one. Now, as far as inflation, we're at 2.5%. We've gone down 90% towards the target on the inflation rate. We've overshot the target on the employment. Those are the two targets explicitly mentioned by the Federal Reserve. All right, and how much have we moved the Fed funds rate? 0. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Yes, so we can see that the Federal Reserve made a big mistake and now the economy saw this major crash and things are about to break. So the only thing that they can do is print money, rate cuts, and this is going to be on the table, guys. We all know what is going to happen to Bitcoin. Yes, we're going to see this fast recovery because yes, this is the COVID dump exactly here, and this is the dump that we are seeing in the overall crypto market and especially for Bitcoin at the moment. And yes, as soon as the Fed stepped in, we saw this major pump towards the upside and this quick recovery from the Fed stepping in exactly here. So yes, guys, sit on your hands, hold on to your cryptocurrencies because we all know the correct time horizon. And this is always what I told you, that we have to have the right time horizon to invest now, because all this major FUD and this major market manipulation and this major unexpected events, they're just going to be a blip in the market if we're going to see this continuation of the bull run and phase 2 of the bull market. So let's go on. Because yes, it is clear, this is business as usual. Yes, maybe they threw this unexpected event, but we have seen these major corrections in the absolute normal bull market. In the previous bull market, we always saw the 38%, 38%, 33%, and these major corrections and these major dumps in this major bullish move. So yes, this is absolutely normal. And even if we're going to look at the market psychology, yes, we have the accumulation, the shakeout, the trend emerges, the momentum building up, and the first sentiment extreme, which would have been the high for Bitcoin exactly here. This was the first sentiment extreme, and at the moment we are seeing this major bear trap, this major uncertainty, and this major FUD in the market. But guys, hold on to your cryptocurrencies because we're going to see this continuation, and you don't want to enter the crypto market at the renewed optimism, because all of the people that sold the top, which is not going to be the cycle top, but just this major local top, they're going to enter the crypto market back at the renewed optimism phase, because all the way down here, they wouldn't have the conviction to buy crypto. They're going to think that the price is going to dump even lower. So yes, I know it's extremely painful to look at your portfolio at the moment, but guys, time is going to heal all of your wounds, and we exactly know for what time horizon we invested, because we are smart investors and we don't get shaken out of the market to these major dumps. Because yes, the only thing that you can do is remain positive and see these major dumps as opportunity to buy all of these coins at a major discount. Because yes, Goldman Sachs said it is not a crash, it's a healthy correction, and this is a good statement, guys. because a lot of people know exactly what time it is. Just in, Bitcoin ETFs hit 700 million in volume in the first second. So a lot of people are buying the dip, and all these major corporations, they are scooping up all of these coins that you're selling at a discount and even in a loss. So don't sell your cryptocurrencies and especially your Bitcoin to these major corporations, because they know exactly what time it is. And yes, I don't like Jim Cramer, but he has a good point. Remember, this is more of a crisis in confidence, not in data. And this means that all the fundamental values remain the same for Bitcoin and the overall crypto market. This is just a major correction caused to this major uncertainty, a looming war, civil unrest, and yes, I called the bottom exactly here. But remember guys, trading is all about possibilities based on previous price movement. And yes, we definitely could have seen this continuation exactly within these levels, formed a new high, and then we would have gotten this major catastrophic event all the way down here due to civil unrest, or even this major looming war, or even the economy breaking at this point. And the only thing that you can do at the moment is, yes, hold on to your cryptocurrencies. Don't sell, because if you're not going to sell, you're not going to realize any loss, because you can't get liquidated if you hold these cryptocurrencies on the spot market. So if you would have bought Solana exactly at the top, let's go over to Solana, exactly within these levels, yes, you would have been down extremely from your entry price, all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom. Yes, we've reached the 50 moving average exactly here at the level of $106. Yes, you would have been down 49%. This means nearly 50%. But if we're going to zoom out exactly towards these levels, guys, this would have been the same exactly here, or even here. Or if we go even further, this happened exactly within the bull market. And yes, if you would have sold exactly here at the bottom, or even in this mid-range, you would have lost your entry exactly within these levels. And by the time you would have regained confidence in the market, the price would have been all the way up here. So yes guys, it would have been just better to hold your cryptocurrencies exact within these levels, because ultimately guys, we're about to see phase 2 of the bull market and this major parabolic run. Because if we go back in the cycles, guys, it is always going to be the same. Bitcoin had this pre-bull market phase, consolidation, stage 2 of the bull market, this parabolic phase towards the upside. And yes, even in the previous cycles, exactly 4 years ago, we even had this major black swan event. And the only thing that you could have done to maximize your profit is to buy exactly here. Buy the dips to drag your entry price down, or otherwise just sit on your hands and wait till this major FUD in the market and this major volatile move and this major black swan event is over, and that the price movement of Bitcoin and the overall crypto market is just going to recover exactly from these levels. And now we're going to go on the daily chart of Bitcoin to find out what we could expect in the immediate short term. Because yes, we can see that Bitcoin broke the 50 moving average on the weekly chart exactly here. We came all the way back into this major range, and yes, this was the range I talked about where the price movement was exactly here, where I called this bottom. I told you if we're going to break this major range, that this is going to be the price target or the next major liquidity zone. But keep in mind, I also told you that if we're going to break this level, that this is going to be a fast move and a quick recovery all the way back up. And yes, we can see that the price movement of Bitcoin is with a weekly candle back above the 50 moving average and above this major low. And yes, we came all the way back to this previous low, which is extremely bullish. So if the price movement of Bitcoin can hold this level, and we're going to get this rate cut from the Federal Reserve, or even quantitative easing, the printing of money, we could expect that Bitcoin and the overall crypto market is going to be back above this lowest level, this lowest monthly close. And yes, this is going to be extremely bullish for the price movement of Bitcoin, and we could expect this continuation within this major range. And as soon as we're going to break the previous all-time high, guys, you're not even going to think about this major painful moment that we are in at the moment. So the only thing that you can do at the moment is to either just sit on your hands and wait until all of this is over, until the price movement is back at your entry price or dollar cost average exactly here, to drag your entry price down to have a better position at this next major parabolic run. But guys, please don't sell. And yes, I said it in the previous video exactly here where I called the bottom. Yes, I was wrong, but guys, you're not going to realize any losses if you're not going to sell. And once again, with the right time horizon until the end of the bull market in the year 2025, this is going to be your last chance to enter the crypto market at these major discount levels, because yes, maybe we could see the price movement come all the way back down to the range low or even break the range low. As soon as the Fed is going to print money or cut the rates, we could expect this fast move all the way back up. And yes, I got a lot of comments, not only positive comments, that I called the bottom exactly here. Yes, I'm going to admit that I was absolutely wrong, because nobody has a crystal ball and nobody can predict the price movement of any type of market or any type of asset. But guys, it is really important to have the right mindset. So yes, make sure to don't sell and dollar cost average into these firm projects, because yes, we're not talking about any meme coins on this channel. We are talking about fundamental strong projects. And if you always want to stay up to date, make sure to subscribe, smash up the like button, but most importantly, be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.